Welcome, everybody. This is about virtual horse breeding. There's a lot of ways to make money on your computer at home, but I think this one's going to blow your mind. At the end, you're going to find there's three options: the dip your toe in option, jump straight in the deep end option, or 100% passive option. The income comes from breeding virtual horses, starting with a game called Photo Finish Live. Let me introduce myself. My name is Phil, and I actually spent 2 years of my life designing and working on the development of a virtual horse racing world. It was quite some time ago. Life gets distracting sometimes. It's been put on the back burner for quite some time, but I've never seen anything quite like the breeding program that Photo Finish Live have developed. It's absolutely brilliant. You take a broodmare, get her pregnant with a stud listed in the stud barn, and produce a foal, a brand new racehorse, every 4 weeks. 4 weeks in their game equals 1 year. So every 4 weeks, your foal is going to gain a year older. And at 2 years old, it can race. And at 3 years old, it can retire and breed. So what do you need us for? Well, that 2 years of experience of designing has helped me understand how to play their game and how to what's called upbreeding. Upbreeding is breeding in such a way that a foal is a grade higher than the mother. Higher grade horses are, of course, worth more, and in most cases, much more. So it's not just my math background that helps in this particular case. It's my understanding of virtual horse racing and how their breeding program is actually working. There's 7 advantages of breeding virtual horses for a living. One, you get a new foal every 4 weeks, which is 13 new foals per year, and each broodmare will do that 21 times. Your broodmares are bred such that they produce a foal with a higher grade, which is producing more money than the value of the broodmare itself. There's no sickness, health issues, death, or problems of any kind associated with the birth of the new foal. You're guaranteed to get a healthy new foal every 4 weeks unless you inbreed. And it's still a healthy foal. It's just not going to be worth as much. We have access to software that utilizes the data needed to select the right studs for each broodmare so that the foal is as valuable as possible. In other words, it allows us to upbreed easily. There's no feeding costs, cleanup, care for, pet hair to deal with. There's no other cost associated whatsoever other than the stud fee to get your broodmare pregnant. You can produce a profit. You can grow your stable, or you can do like we're going to do with our syndicate stable, and a combination of both. You need no expertise or time devoted to this, as it's 100% passive if you select that option. There are 3 options. You can read about everything by going to our website, virtualhorsebreeding.com, and it gives you all your options as well. Let me scroll down to the option page. All right. The first option is the passive option. It's 100% passive. You purchase a position in our syndicate stable, and then you own a piece of all the horses in that stable. Every time someone joins this particular stable, we get to add more horses. And since every one of these horses are producing a higher grade foal, that means everybody's actually making more money the more people that we add. Kind of a cool concept. The dip your toe in option is our starter stable. You get 2 pregnant brood mares that can produce S- grade foals. These are the grade of horses that's used in the top stable. This stable is called the starter stable. It costs $175, and it comes with a year of consultation with me. You have daily access to me to make sure you always make the right decisions. The jump straight in, deep in option is called our top stable. It comes with 2 S- grade pregnant brood mares that are guaranteed to produce S grade foals. This is a big jump in value, and the guarantee is if either fail to produce an S grade foal, we give you half your money back. If both fail, you get 100% of your money back, and you get to keep all 4 horses. This stable also comes with 1 year of consultation, and it's currently discounted to only $375. Price should be $500. All right, the website again is virtualhorsebreeding.com if you want to go to those options and read everything I just told you about. Now comes the most important part of this, the question and answer session. So just feel free to unmute yourself and ask anything you'd like. Anyone with the question?
Whatever you already have experience in breeding.
Say again, please.
Whatever if you what about the people that have experience already in breeding?
It would
Horse.
I would suggest you don't do the syndicate, you do your own stable. Let me help you understand the difference between virtual and real so that you can do your own. Yeah, absolutely. It would come extremely handy if you have your own experience in breeding. The breeding
Okay.
with virtual horse racing is almost all math. However, it's based on reality. So your experience in real breeding will come in handy.
So, how do you pick up? Do you have a list of stallions that you pick from?
Yes, it's called the stud barn. When you get ready to pick your brood mare, there's several different condition sets. So you want to pick a stud that has the same condition set, and it'll list all the ones in that condition set for you. We've got some software that will allow us to use filters to pick out what we want, what we want to breed with speed, what we want to breed with value, what we want to breed with breeding ability or grade. There's four different things you can breed for. We generally breed for all four, the upgrade on all four of them if we can, but we always emphasize the one that we think is most important for those foals to become.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sure can.
Hi. So I've got a quick question. What is the situation on are there people, can you have, like, say I pick a brood mare, what if someone else picks that brood mare? Is that then off the list, or how does that work?
You don't get to pick a brood mare. If you pick the starter stable, we add two brood
Oh,
mares to that stable of our choosing that will get you S minus
oh,
foals.
okay, so we don't get to pick the brood mare, we just get to pick the stallion?
Yes, when it's come, the brood mares that you're going to be given and originally are pregnant. Once they give
Okay.
birth, the next week after they give birth, the stud barn opens up, and then you go in and pick your stud and pay the stud fee, and it gets pregnant again. And then
Okay.
2 weeks later, it gets.
So I mean, how do you guys, because for me with breeding, I'm always focused more on my broodmare than the stallion, really. So how do we know we're getting
This is
a brood?
Yeah, this is a second advantage for doing business with us instead of doing it on your own.
Mhm.
We understand quality, and we've got the highest quality horses available to do this with. So
Okay.
you're going to get a jump ahead of everybody else on the average player in the game right off the bat.
Okay. So they're, I mean, in theory, proven broodmares who produce,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot of breeding, but mostly I based my breeding on the mares, production versus the stallions.
In this particular game, it's 50-50. The
Oh, okay. So
the
it's
full
not really truly exactly based on like
no,
real.
it's a math game. So it's literally based 50-50 on the combination of the value of the stud and the combination of the value of the brood mare.
Okay. And so is the stable of broodmares that you guys offer basically all across the board kind of the same, if you will? You know what I mean? Like if you get
in
some
in
a
in
brood.
in value, this is what we've done. There's four different
Okay.
things to try to breed for, which is speed.
Yeah.
One thing is called value, which is represented by stars in their particular game. Another thing
Okay.
that's important is breeding ability, and then
Mm-hmm.
the fourth thing that's important is what grade are they? Because the higher the grade, of course, the more value they are.
Right.
When we breed our horses, we pay attention to all four of those things. Whichever one
Mm-hmm.
we have minimum standards. For example,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to stars, our minimum standard is 7 stars. The maximum you can have is 9. That's the most,
Okay.
and 9's kind of rare. Our minimum is literally 7. 7 would
Okay.
be above average at any other stable in the game, but it's our
Yeah.
minimum. We get
Okay.
rid of anything that's less than 7. We sell those off and get rid of them. We don't put them in this program whatsoever. We want only high quality. So that's just one of the four things that we're breeding for. We're still trying to understand exactly how we breed for speed. We've bred
Mm-hmm.
speed, but it seems to be a hit and miss kind of thing. So we're still trying to understand the math behind that. But the other
Okay.
three we have a handle on. We already
Mhm.
know that the horses that you're going to get have a positive breeding ability instead of a negative breeding or average breeding ability. We already know
Mhm.
they're above average in value with stars. We already
Mhm.
know that they're a good breeding in grade. So
Okay, and are these based on real horses? Like names that you'd recognize or, whatnot, or is this like fantasy football where you know the player, you know what I mean? Or is it just completely just a game type thing?
when your foals are born, their name is foal of whatever their mom's name was. So if their mom's name was Yeller, then they'll say foal of Yeller.
Oh, okay.
Before you could race the horse or retire the horse and breed it, you have to rename it something. It can't be named foal of, but you get to name it whatever you want to name it, as long as no other horse has that name and it fits within
Mhm.
their naming standards.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So the
Um,
horses that you get, we've named ourselves.
right.
And we're
Okay.
smart, Alex, so you never know what's going to be.
Yeah, okay. How long I've never heard of this before. So how long have you guys been doing this?
Photo Finish Live is in its 18th season, which every 4 weeks is a season. We jumped in around season 5 or 6 and got
Oh,
started.
wow. Okay. Um, all right. Well, maybe I can learn more looking at the website and whatnot, but it sounds kind of fun.
Fun and exciting and rewarding because another thing I can think of that you can read that 4 weeks later you get a more
No, yeah,
valuable foal
exactly.
than the mom cost. So that's pretty cool.
Right. And then what was the time frame again between the quote unquote birth of the foal to the time it's ready to race?
8 weeks. It's
Eight weeks.
it'll be
Okay.
2 years old. In 12 weeks, it'll be 3 years old. At 3 years old, it can retire.
Oh,
So
wow.
if
Okay.
your foal is a filly, then in exactly 12 weeks, that filly can give birth to another foal by itself. Now,
Wow.
which is
Right.
what we do with our syndicate statement. What we do with it is we take the value of all the foals that are born, subtract the
Mm-hmm.
cost to breed next season's brood mares, take
Mm-hmm.
40% of what's left over, and that's how much that we cash out. The other 60% we let grow the stable. And to get
Mm-hmm.
the 40%, the first thing we do is we sell all the colts or race them for money and make it up that way, one of the two.
Right. And in between the time from them being born to being ready to race, is there a process which you have to like make decisions for these
When they're 0 and 1 years
horses?
old, the only thing you can decide to do is whether you want to sell them or not. That's it. There's nothing. They're just sitting in your stable, taking up
Oh,
space until
okay.
race.
So there's no real strategy or anything like that other than maybe picking the stallions and what deciding what races to run them in when you run them, or how does that go?
As far as playing the game, you can literally
Mhm.
make money racing horses. You can make money selling horses. You make money breeding horses. The way we're going to make our money is from breeding horses because we get to create a brand new digital asset every
Hmm.
4 weeks. That's
Okay.
more valuable than its original. Now, if you're smart, you can make money in racing, but they take a 20% rate and only put back about 5% of that in uh, supplements.
Oh, so it's not
No,
as
it's almost like real horse racing, how difficult it is to make money in real horse racing when it comes to
Mhm.
racing. Yeah, the money to
Right,
be made is in breeding horses.
right,
But
and then selling them.
racing is fun and exciting though sometimes.
Oh yeah, I did it for years. Yep. So, okay, that I think that's most of my questions right now. The website obviously has more like detail on the different options, and does it show any of the um stallions or anything like that, or how do you kind of get more familiar with
It
how it works?
it doesn't, but you can go to photofinishlive.com, I believe it's
Oh,
.com,
okay.
and see the game itself and see all the horses that are in it and the players that are playing and things like that.
And
The
people are seriously making money at this?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's people with over 2,700 horses in their stable right now.
oh my gosh. Huh. And mostly they just breed and sell, breed and sell, breed and sell, and that's how they make their money.
Well, no, there's a lot of different things that they do to make money. The one I
Mm-hmm.
find is the most easiest and lucrative is by breeding, but they've got other things that they do as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Discord channel where they come up with all sorts of ideas of different things that they do, contests that they hold. But a lot
Hmm.
of them breed so that they can raise in the season ending series championships. I've got a horse myself this season. This is the first season we've ever had a horse in our stable that's racing in qualifiers to compete for the season ending, a big race at this end of the season where it's free to enter, but you have to qualify for it, racing in qualifiers. So
And
that's
then
where the
so
big bucks are.
yeah, and so say if you do rent a horse, is it something like digital that you watch or
Oh
like
yes, yes, you get to watch the races even live if you want to, or a replay of them, either one.
but
The
they're digital horses. They're not real. I mean, it's not like a real
it,
horse run.
it's 3D graphics put into 2D format, so it looks really realistic.
Oh, that's quite cool. Okay. Interesting. I've never heard of this. I was like, what the heck is this? When
And
I
you said
saw
that was photofinish.com?
Photo Finish Live.
photo finish.
I'm sorry, it's Photo Finish
I guess I lost
live.
you.
Photo Finish
Photofinishlive.com
nope, Photo Finish live.
.live. Okay. And that's the main website for the whole thing. And then the other one is virtualhorsebreeding.com.
Virtualhorsebreeding.com is our website. Photo Finish live is the site that built this brilliant breeding program we're taking advantage of.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you guys are just starting your own sort of
Yeah, we started our stable
farm, if you will. Okay.
about a year ago and have been building it ever since. And that's how we got our experience knowing how to upbreed so easily.
Okay. Interesting. Do you guys use so it's math. So
Yes.
so you're just okay. I think I'm associating it a little bit too much with real horse breeding. Like
They tried to do that, but it's much more
Yes.
math than it is real horse breeding.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds it sounds like fun and it does sound interesting. I mean, out of curiosity, and you may or may not be able to answer this question, and this probably my last question. Oh, if you do like the syndicate situation to start or whatever, what would you say that, I mean, an average you can make on an average, or how does it, if you're making money doing it, how do you get paid? How much? I mean, like I know that probably varies to a lot of a degree, but just in general, what's the process, I guess?
Mondays, every 4 weeks is foal day. So
Okay.
on Mondays, we'll have brand new horses in our stable that we're going to make a decision on. In the syndicate stable, some of those decisions are going to be let the horse just sit there because it's a filly that in 3 or 12 weeks, it'll be able to breed new horses and make more value.
Right. Okay.
Some of them we're going to put up for sale immediately. And some of them are going to hold on until they're 2 years old because we believe we can make money in racing and we can increase its value if we do so. So the syndicate stable makes a decision every foal day as to exactly how each horse is going to be handled that's born that day.
Okay. And then as a syndicate, if I was like a syndicate player or whatever, do I have say in what happens with any of that? Or is that just something that gets done just automatically?
You'll get the help in naming of the horses. And if you have any ideas that you think are valuable, you can present them.
Okay. All
We'll
right.
certainly listen to anyone's ideas.
Interesting. And do you have a background in horse racing yourself?
I actually trained for the Olympics when I was in college. So I probably could understand what it's like to be a horse more than anybody, a racehorse at least.
Okay.
And yes, I have a huge background in handicapping horses. I was the voice of Laurel Park for about 6 months.
Okay.
During that one season that they had me hired for that. And I've been in a national handicapping contest. I won my way to a national handicapping contest in Las Vegas once. So I
Wow, good for you. That's
I love anything that has to do with mathematics. So one day I'm playing poker and two of the poker players at my table are talking about virtual horse racing back and forth. And I'd never heard of it, just like you had. So when the game was over, I Googled it and I found that there was 4 different places that you could play virtual horses virtual horse racing,
Mm.
where you could
Mhm.
literally own a real virtual horse and race it against other horses.
Mhm.
Nobody had a breeding program quite like this, but it was still fun and exciting. So I got hooked on it, played every
Yeah.
one of the games, showed them how to fix their game, and they all said, we have a philosophy that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're making plenty of money, go away. So
Oh.
I went away and went and designed my own game to kick their butt, but then I got sidetracked with all some other things that I was doing, had it put on the back burner until Photo Finish Live came along, and I got excited to go, wow, they built a much better breeding program than I did, and I thought I built the cat's meow when it comes to virtual
Oh,
horses. So
okay. Cool. It sounds like sounds interesting. I'm gonna definitely go on the websites and check it out. And then on the website, is that where you sign up and that whole thing?
yeah, virtualhorsebreeding.com is where you can, it'll take you to the mall to make your purchase, and then we'll get you, then you'll have to go to photofinish.live and get your stable, and then we'll transfer your pregnant brood mares to it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd probably just start off in the syndicate situation and then if I'm able to, make some money there, then
Yeah,
start my
that's
own.
one of the best ways to do that, is to start off in the syndicate, learn what you can, make some money, and then migrate to owning your own stable after that if you want to.
Okay, great. And what was your name?
My name is Phil.
Phil. Okay, thanks, Phil. My name's Carrie. I'm gonna definitely go check it out. I'll wait to see if anybody else has any questions so I can hear. But those are probably the questions I have for right now.
All right, thanks, Gary. Does anyone
you.
else have a question? Gary may have asked them all for you, huh?
I guess, sorry, yeah,
That's good.
I'm very curious, but
Okay,
yeah.
sounds like we're all good. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to be doing
Okay,
this every Thursday night at 9. So bring your
every
friends.
Thursday night at 9.
Yeah,
Okay, and it's you send the link. Is this the same link or
yeah,
what?
it'll be the same link. Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Okay, bye. You too.